Jose Ramses, thank you very much. We'll take it up from Walt Disney World Resort to Exploria Stadium. Orlando City resounding 3-1 win over New York City FC. They are through to the knockout stage of the MLS is Back tournament. Evan Weston and Miguel Gallardo here. This is the Orlando City Roundtable presented by Heineken. Orlando City playing some gorgeous soccer right now. They've got 6 points in 2 matches, and they are on to the knockout phase.
Yeah, it's a massive win for Orlando. Back-to-back wins, 5 goals in 2 games. Beautiful soccer as well. That's the best part, that you start to see a philosophy. But the best part is that the understanding that it takes everybody to work extremely hard to get it done, and you love to see it.
You know, what a win for Orlando. And because Philadelphia beat Inter Miami in the late game, Orlando and the Union are both on to the knockout round at 6 points each, which means that Monday night's game will be for the top spot in Group A. We're going to have a lot more on Philadelphia later on in the show. First things first, though, let's wind it back to Tuesday night. And Orlando City putting on a virtual watch party for season ticket members. Jenny Chu was a part of that, and I'm pretty sure a good time was had by all. Jenny, how was it?
Evan, the virtual watch party was wonderful. It was so great to see our supporters' faces again, to hear them analyze the team, and to see them celebrate a great Orlando City team performance. Head coach Oscar Pareja said that Orlando showed initiative and personality in the match, and that is why NYCFC had difficulties. Oscar praised the team's presence in the box as what he liked most from the match, giving credit to his assistant coaches Jose Mabazan and Diego Torres for their work on set pieces. Oscar gave his analysis on the game and said, quote, "It's a night to feel confident about what we are doing here."
It's a great night for the club and for the boys who did a terrific effort in the field, and that effort was rewarded. I think we had much more volume in attack today, and we put a lot of people in the box and many times with a lot of sequences. Had the personality to have a good start, and at the end hold the result against a team who is well structured and it has a very good players too. So it is a night to grow. It's a night to feel confidence about what we're doing here. But I don't get tired to say that this is a very well deserved for the players who make a great effort in the field.
Well, a very happy Profe after that one. You certainly would understand why. Let's first take a look at our goal of the game. It's brought to you by Visit St. Pete. The first goal was a great highlight, but the second goal, Miguel, in the 10th minute was a full team play.
Yeah, this was a great goal, a systematic goal. Patience in the build-up, get your playmakers on the ball, get Pereira in this case on the ball. He'll always find a through ball. Good things happen when he's on the ball. Ruan nice and high, great cross, numbers in the box, great decision by Dom Dwyer to pop the ball back into a dangerous area, and Chris Mueller with a wonderful and composed finish to get the second goal for Orlando City.
And they never looked back from there, although there was a dicey minute late in the second half, 2-1 game, 77th minute. Pedro Galese comes up with a phenomenal double save. It is our save of the game, brought to you by Fairwinds Credit Union.
This was 1 out of 7 saves, and he needed this saves. He needed to have a big game, and he did just that. He cleans up after the first rebound into traffic, but fantastic reaction save at a critical time. Great performance by the Peruvian #1.
And Tesho Akindele put the third goal in just a few minutes later. That was all she wrote. Phenomenal night for Orlando. When we come back, we're going to have full highlights on the Orlando City Roundtable presented by Heineken, plus more on Chris Mueller's big night. Stay tuned. Orlando City on Fox 35 Plus is brought to you by Orlando Health, Exploria Resorts, Disney Springs, Publix, Ford, Fairwinds Credit Union, Heineken, Rasmussen College, Orlando International Airport, City Furniture, JetBlue, and Pizza Hut. Back here on the Orlando City Roundtable presented by Heineken. Orlando City 3-1 winners over New York City FC on Tuesday night. They are through to the knockout stage of the MLS is Back tournament. Evan and Miguel here. Let's break this one down, get you full highlights brought to you by Exploria Resorts. It started brilliantly and didn't stop for Orlando.
It'll be my pleasure to get through this third minute into the game with a gorgeous outswinger cross by Moutinho and a powerful first-time finish by Chris Mueller. 5 minutes later, great team goal, great assist by Dom Dwyer to put it back into the danger zone, and then Mueller, cool as a cucumber for his second one of the night. NYC started, though, pushing forward, and this is a first big save by El Pulpo, but he couldn't do much about this banger from their DP, Medina Golazo, to get one back for NYCFC. Mueller was close to the hat trick, but the woodwork would deny him over his powerful header. One more big save here by El Pulpo, point-blank reaction, and then great strike here by Pereira, by UCF Knight Sean Johnson with a great save, and then the save of the game by El Pulpo. Key timing, 4 minutes later, Orlando City would seal the deal with this great counter-attacking goal by Tesho, celebrating that contract extension, and the best part, 3 points and a ticket to the next round.
Let's hear from the man himself, Chris Mueller, the story of the tournament right now. Mueller on his big night.
Obviously, I've enjoyed working with Oscar for sure. When a coach, I think, when he manages the player so well and gives you confidence to go out and play your own game and show some personality on the field, I think that's all you can ask for, and I think that he's done that really well. Especially with me, I feel confident to go out and play my own game and just let the pieces kind of fall as they do and just focus on playing my game. But as you look at the team, I think that our mentality is just different in the sense that we believe that we're a winning team. We know that we have a lot of quality out there. We're well coached. We have the whole staff is so detail-oriented, and they know what they want. Everybody has a clear role, and I think that when you bring that together with a group of quality players who are focused and determined to win, I think it makes a good mix for a good squad, and obviously a team who's looking to go deep and win the tournament here as well. So, yeah, we have all the components we need, and I'm looking forward to see where we can go.
Chris Mueller, currently the Golden Boot as of the end of the night for the MLS's Back tournament. We're hearing U.S. men's national team calls from the fancy blue check marks on Twitter. I'm just saying, the talk is out there. What a night for him. An easy choice for a Heineken Star of the match.
Look, I guess it is our job to get excited. It's his job to maintain sensible, but confident, because he is having a great tournament. He's opportunistic with his timing of his runs. He's clinical on his finishing, and if he can continue this and be consistent, I think there will be more heads turning his way.
Chris Mueller taking a step forward so far in 2020. Big changes, though, in the second half that led to Orlando City putting the game away. When we come back, we're going to talk about Oscar Pareja's tactics to seal this win and Orlando City's ticket to the knockout round. Big night for Orlando City. They win 3-1 over New York City FC to punch their ticket to the knockout round. This is the Orlando City Roundtable presented by Heineken. Oscar Pareja taking advantage of new rules for substitutions, a big part of seeing out this victory. Tesho Akindele's third goal was off the bench. For more on this, we're going to go to Jenny Chu down at Walt Disney World Resort for how Oscar Pareja has used the substitutions. Jenny?
Evan, FIFA's temporary amendment from the usual 3 subs rule to 5 is to prevent injuries due to potential player overload post the COVID-19 halt in play. Earlier in the week, Tesho Akindele said that the 5 subs rule changes the dynamic of the game, allowing players to push themselves instead of pace themselves. And that mentality shift showed in the high press from Orlando City against NYCFC, resulting in 2 goals in 10 minutes, with Orlando City using 4 of their 5 substitutions. Andres Perea, Sebas Mendez, Benji Michel, and Tesho Akindele, who ended up scoring Orlando City's 3rd goal. Evan?
Jenny, thank you very much. Spot on subs from Oscar last night.
Indeed, and you got to give him a lot of credit. We talked about how key it was going to be to have the ability to use 5 subs, but how you use that depth is what's key for me. He used the exact same subs, almost at the exact same timing as he did versus Inter Miami. And what more do you need to validate those decisions than a goal where all 4 of your subs directly impact the goal that seals the deal, while all of them doing exactly what you put them in to do. Mendes forcing errors, Perea great vision to identify the counter-attacking opportunity. Benji Michel in a great spot with a great opportunity at a shot. Good save, but who was there to finish it off? Tesho Akindele. What does that mean? Energy, people in the box that translated into the goal. Oscar Pareja deserves a lot of credit, not only for the culture he's beginning to instill, but the tactics and the strategy he's using to get all points for this one.
You can tell the message, the identity is starting to get through to the guys, and it really has been a joy to watch this develop over the last couple of weeks. We're going to have more on the goal scorer there, Tesho Akindele. New contract for Tesho. We'll talk about that when we come back. This is the Orlando City Roundtable presented by Heineken. Welcome back to the Orlando City Roundtable presented by Heineken. Orlando City through to the knockout rounds of the MLS is Back tournament, a 3-1 win in their second group game over NYCFC after knocking off Inter Miami 2-1 in the tournament opener. Evan and Miguel here will keep breaking this down. The third goal last night scored by Tesho Akindele, a career-high 10 goals last year. He gets rewarded with a contract extension, then scores in his first game after that. Tesho has really found a home here.
Yeah, very well deserved for him, because you talked about him scoring 10 goals last season, but he does so much for the team. That's the type of guy you want to have on your team. Is just not only the goals, selfless runs, combination play, an ability to come back and defend, an ability to press high to create those counter-attacking opportunities, but the positivity and the mentality. You want guys like that on your team.
Let's hear a little bit from Tesho Akindele himself.
Yeah, I'm just really happy that I get to be here for the foreseeable future. I had a great year last year, on and off the field. I loved the fans. I loved the city. Couldn't be more proud to be part of this team, and looking forward to big things in the future.
Miguel, you always talk about how unselfish Tesho is and how he makes runs to help the whole team.
Yeah, look, he's made his career out of opposite movements. That's what forwards do so well, is that deception. He drops away from the defender and then explodes into the dangerous area, and that's what's giving him success. Take a look at this play. He drops away from the defender from FC Dallas, and then very explosive into the space for a first-time finish here. Again, he's creating that deception, dragging the defender, and then exploding at the right time in a beautiful first-time finish. This second play, Dom Dwyer makes a run to the first post. He acknowledged that, goes to the back post, and then another easy finish. And then for the third one here, he gets involved in the combination play and then explodes into the right space, the dangerous area, for a finish. There's one common denominator here: the perfectly timed runs and the one-touch finishes, and that's because the timing of his runs. Very well-deserved construct extension. Very happy to have him here at Orlando City.
Tesho Akindele here to stay with Orlando City, and Orlando here to stay in the MLS is Back tournament, at least for another week. We'll take a look at their upcoming schedule. They play for the top of the group on Monday, July 20th against Philadelphia. That's 8 p.m. 2DNA and streaming on Twitter. And then they are guaranteed to play their round of 16 game on July 25th. Whether that's 8 or 10:30 p.m. will be determined by the Philadelphia result. That game will be on ESPN2. We'll send you to break with a little Orlando City trivia brought to you by Chick-fil-A. This was the 11th result in 16 matches all time for Orlando against New York City. The first happened in Orlando City's very first game. Who was the man who scored the goal to get Orlando City a point in their first ever match in MLS? We'll tell you when we come back. Before the break, we left you with this trivia question. Who was the player to score Orlando City's first goal and get their first result against New York City FC? The answer, of course, was their original MLS captain, Ricardo Kaká. It started off with an easy one, but that's okay. We'll build up over time. Orlando City into the knockout phase of the MLS is Back tournament. This is the Orlando City Roundtable presented by Heineken. They're going to be joined by Philadelphia. They will play each other for the top of Group A on Monday, July 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Philadelphia with a big win over Inter Miami right after Orlando's game.
Yeah. Good game by Philadelphia Union. Good game also by Inter Miami. Unfortunately for them, it just wasn't quite good enough. Let's take a look at the action. Early goal here by Philly. Aronson, very fluid to get away from his defenders, and then a rocket from outside the box from their left back, Wagner, to beat Robles for the 1-0. Two nice counter-attacking goals. The first one by Miami, this finish by the Mexican international Rodolfo Pizarro to level the score. And then this even better transition goal by the Union to get the game winner at the feet of Shrebilko. 15 goals last season for the Philadelphia Union striker. Controversial call here, but VAR says no, senor, no handball penalty. Miami doesn't get the call, and then Miami with a last chance on the 85th minute, but it wasn't meant to be for the they remain winless rather in MLS and in Major League Soccer back tournament.
Yeah, it's been a rough start for our friends in Fort Lauderdale. Philadelphia, though, look at this team, playoff team last year. They're off to a great start in this tournament. Their midfield, Miguel, is so important to what they do.
Yes, it certainly is. This is the key to the success of this team. When you look at players like Alejandro Bedoya, Aronson, and Montero, they do so much for this team offensively and defensively. Aronson, like we said, very fluid. He creates a lot of chances. Montero, even though in this play he doesn't even touch the ball, he has great awareness to do two little dummies to get that second goal for Philadelphia Union. If them three are on every time they play, Philadelphia Union is a team to be reckoned with, and they create a lot of chances.
Philadelphia with a high-powered offense, but there's a big obstacle standing in their way Monday night. Pedro Galese, El Pulpo, Orlando City's new #1, the Peruvian World Cup hero. What a game he had against New York City FC. 7 saves, a few of them just spectacular acrobatics. Let's go to Jenny Chu now at Walt Disney World Resort with more on the new Orlando City goalkeeper. Jenny?
Evan, in the match against NYCFC, we saw why Pedro Galese is called El Pulpo, coming up with a couple of massive saves to keep Orlando City in the match. And we can't forget his incredible double save that got us all off of our feet. Head coach Oscar Pareja said, "The great goalkeepers appear when they are needed. In the most opportune moments, Pedro was there and he gave us lots of security." Pedro El Pulpo is all seriousness on the field. Over the broadcast, you can hear him leading and directing his teammates. But I think it's important to mention his ability to balance that seriousness on the field with his off-the-field hilarious personality. I polled Orlando City teammates and staff about who the funniest player is, and they said Pedro is hilarious. He is so goofy, and that he has been a wonderful addition to the team on and off the field because of that. I am sure that this is just the beginning of Pedro's octopus-like saves.
What a night for Pedro Galese. Thank you so much, Jenny. Miguel, this is a player that was brought in with a lot of hype. It's been a long time. We've been waiting for a game like this, and El Pulpo finally showed us exactly why he has that nickname.
Yeah, he was really waiting for this night for a long time because the other games, Orlando City kind of dominated the possession, but in this game, he was called upon many times and he delivered, and this is why he's been so successful with Alianza in Peru and took Peru to the World Cup as well.
And the Copa America final for the first time in decades and decades as well. Remember that when Orlando City wins, you win with Pizza Hut. When Orlando City is victorious, the next day it's 50% off all regular price large pizzas with the code LIONSWIN. When we come back, we're going to hear from Pedro Galese. We'll talk a little bit more about the upcoming matchup as well. It's the Orlando City Roundtable presented by Heineken. Back here on the Orlando City Roundtable, presented by Heineken. Orlando City taking on Philadelphia Union Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on TUDN and Twitter. Evan Weston, Miguel Gallardo here. And we look in depth on this matchup. Central midfield looks like an important spot.
Very important. When you look at Alejandro Bedoya and Junior Urso, what they bring to their teams offensively and defensively is so important. But the spirit, both of these guys can rally up the troops, get them going. If they're on, this team is functioning properly.
Big game from Urso on Tuesday night against New York City. Let's find out more about Orlando City's new box-to-box midfielder.
Quando dizem meu nome, eu me sinto mais forte, eu posso assim dizer. Eu me sinto que eu sou, de repente, diferente dos demais. Obviamente que somos feitos do mesmo material, mas é assim que eu me impulsiono, de repente, para poder estar treinando ou jogando ou me comportar no dia a dia. Então, eu me sinto mais forte. Eu acho que se encaixou perfeito para me tornar o jogador que eu sou hoje. Eu tenho umas características, querendo ou não, que às vezes acaba que me elogiam, de repente, por eu ter bastante força ou ter uma resistência muito boa durante as partidas, os 90 minutos. Então, eu acho que esse apelido se encaixou perfeito para mim. É algo que, para ser sincero, eu considero como não um apelido, né? Praticamente é meu nome. Eu acho que é algo que eu vou carregar pro resto da minha vida. Pessoas queriam que eu fosse para outros times no meu próprio país, no Brasil. E tinha outros clubes também, como eu passei pelo futebol chinês, tinha algumas pessoas telefonando para que eu fosse para lá. Mas não era muito meu interesse, né? eu acho que eu já sabia mais ou menos que tinha algo reservado de Deus para mim, especial. E aí, quando aconteceu o telefonema do meu agente me informando que o Orlando, que havia o interesse do Orlando, eu já não pensei duas vezes, apenas quis ouvir até o fim o que ele estava dizendo, mas a palavra sim já estava no meu coração, na minha cabeça, e eu acho que estou vivendo um momento especial mesmo com essa vinda para cá. Espero que seja um início assim e o fim também da temporada com essa alegria que eu estou sentindo dentro de mim. Eu achei especial mesmo, achei diferente. A torcida apoiando a todo momento, vibrando mesmo. Pessoas, de repente, com uma máscara de leão, bastante fumaça roxa, né? Eu fiquei bem animado com isso. É algo que a gente gosta, nós jogadores, eu acho que é importante que a gente sinta esse calor da torcida, que eu acho que isso nos impulsiona a ter uma melhor atuação dentro de campo. Não deixe que a gente fique, de repente, disperso. Eu acho que isso é importante pra gente. É o nosso 12º jogador.
Urso, one of the major signings for Orlando City this offseason. A lot of the moves directed towards improving this team's spine. We saw that on Tuesday night.
That's the key to the success of the team. You need to make sure that you have an influence in the middle like Junior Urso to connect the attack to the defense. He does so much work defensively, covers so much ground, but also every time Orlando City is on the opposite half, he's always in the box looking for an opportunity.
You look at those other signings too, Antonio Carlos and of course Pedro Galese got a big night. Let's hear from El Pulpo after Orlando City's win.
Mando técnico nos tiene mucha confianza, sabemos lo que podemos dar y bueno, los trasladamos al campo y así demostramos ser un equipo sólido y con bastante ataque.
That just about says it, right? Orlando City in good spirits and they are ready to go top this group.
Can they go 3 for 3? That's the question. I guess we'll find out.
We are going to find out Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on TUDN and Twitter in the United States. It is Orlando City and Philadelphia Union for the top of Group A. Also counts as a 2020 MLS regular season game. We're excited to see it. Can the Lions get 9 points in 3 matches? No matter what, they are on to the knockout round in the MLS's back tournament. For Miguel Gallardo, our entire crew, my name is Evan Weston. Thank you for joining us on the Orlando City Roundtable presented by Heineken. Orlando City on Fox 35 Plus is brought to you by Orlando Health, Exploria Resorts, Disney Springs, Publix, Ford, Fairwinds Credit Union, Heineken, Rasmussen College, Orlando International Airport, City Furniture, JetBlue, and Pizza Hut.